And the waiting is the hardest part.
So I've just found out that my new guitar is actually going to be delivered really soon. It's on its way, I think in the next couple of days. So I'm really excited about that. I haven't had a Gibson Les Paul guitar since I was a teenager, so it's really exciting to finally have one again. And yeah, so I'm to celebrate that, I've decided to cook a nice meal. So I've just gone shopping just to buy some bits and pieces, and yeah, the house is a bit of disarray at the moment. We got builders coming in the next couple of weeks, so that's going to be difficult to deal with, but we're going to try and, you know, house everything in different spaces for now. It'll be a mess until the work's done, and then start to sort things out from there. But that doesn't detract from the fact I'm really excited about my guitar. So new guitar day coming soon, watch this space. So excited, new guitar day is here. I've just signed for it. This is my new Les Paul, and I'm just hoping everything's fine. So I'm going to unbox it right now on camera, and I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. So that's a tape. There we go. It's kind of nice and snugly pegged in there. There we go. Okay, fully packaged, so we hope. It looks good so far. Okay, move this knife out of the way before we have an accident. Oh man, check this out. Real Gibson case. Oh, we put this down gently on the table. Fantastic. So that's the unboxing done. Now let's open this baby. So we get the 24/7 protection. This is a Canadian made case, and it has a lifetime warranty on the case, which is fantastic. So that is good, and it's a proper Gibson branded case, as you can see. We'll take another look at that in a minute, but I'm dying to get this open, so let's do that. Let's quickly move it back a little. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Mint condition there on the case from what I can see so far. We flip all the catches on this. There's one on the other side. Is that it? No, there's another one. No, that is it. Oh baby, that's gorgeous. Let's turn the light on, get some extra lighting on this. Wow. Look at that shine. I'm loving the pearly inlay of Gibson on there. That's great. Okay, so it comes without the poker chip on, because you put that on yourself later on, as I understand it. Yeah, that is pretty gorgeous. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so it looks to me as if this has a problem. Looks like that is not fitted properly for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just loose in there, so that's not right. And this is in the bottom here. along with that, so that's not right. I would say this has taken an impact and they've come off, and if you look you can see there's a bit of damage to the wood there. So it took a crack. There's a poker chip. I won't put this on because it might scratch it, but that seems to have come off somehow. So I'm going to have to see what I'm going to do about that, but let's hope that's the only problems that we have here. Okay, let's get this out. Okay, so nothing immediately jumping out at me at the moment as a problem. Other than that, a bit of a scratch on the finishing of the nut there for some reason. Okay, that's not too bad. Bit of fluff there. Okay, let's turn this round. So it looks like the input jack is where it should be. That's fine. Yeah, the neck, from what I can tell, the neck is looking okay, I think, but we'll see when I actually play it. Of course, that's the proof's in the pudding. Okay, so there's a bit of dust there on the side. Don't know if it's more than that. I'm going to find out. No, it's just a bit of dust. Okay. Okay, so try the pots. Just giving them a quick turn, and they seem all right. So put that back a second. So it appears to me that the problem is this. It must have took some kind of an impact, I would say, and it's actually caused the poker chip to smash off, and this nut that locks it in. Now, as long as there's nothing wrong with the wiring underneath, I can probably fix it myself, but I shouldn't have to on a guitar that's, you know, £2,300. So that's not good. And there's some kind of red scratch on the top of this, which I would say is paint off whatever impacted it. I'm not sure what it is, but something has smashed the finish on the wood there. So I'm gonna have to have a look at this and see what to do. Bit disappointed. I had a feeling that, you know, when you deliver something expensive like this, there's always that risk that something won't be perfect. So bit disappointed, but let's see how things go. Hey buddy, sorry I'm late calling, just had a nightmare. yeah, I'm alright. I'm just depressed and sad because new guitar day and it's been a complete disaster. So yeah, not the best. Well, it's basically, I spoke to the guys at the store and they're going to work with me, so that's all good. Went to try and see the guitar tech, but unfortunately he wasn't in because his dad's in hospital. It's really bad, and his mind was somewhere else. So even though there was an appointment, he completely forgot, which is understandable, you know, with the situation with his dad. I completely get it. So he's halfway on his way to Birmingham when we got to his house, so that didn't work out. So my brother's going to have a look at it now, and basically he's pretty handy, and he hasn't got the emotional attachments that I've got. Do you know what I mean? So he'll just be objective with it, and he's going to take a look at it tonight, send me some pictures, see what can be done, and then the idea is that we sort of take it from there tomorrow. Because to be honest, I'm probably going to take it back or something. Do you know what I mean? But I just want to sort of get the extra pictures from the inside, see what the damage is, and yeah, they said they'll do whatever I want to do. So just to give them a call tomorrow and stuff. So yeah, are you available to a Skype? I need someone to cry to.
So, my new guitar has been a disaster.
That's an understatement.
You've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I'm not too chuffed.
Yeah.
referring back, I don't know if you remember to the first episode, I mentioned we were talking a bit about Gibson,
Yeah,
and I was talking a bit about quality control in
yeah,
the modern ones. Do you remember that?
I do.
And I was hoping for you that these new ones would be good, and I'm sorely disappointed in Gibson actually. But well, that is abysmal quality control for a product of that price.
Yeah,
I have seen Epiphones unboxed that are better quality than that, and I'm fucking devastated for you, mate. Excuse my language. I am
yeah,
honestly, as a player,
yeah,
I am. That's why I've been so obviously. I know you could get a part. I've
yeah,
done it myself. I know you could easily get a part and put it in, and it's fine, but it's the fucking principle of it, the
yeah.
sheer audacity that you've. I mean, these ain't cheap. These ain't fucking 200 quid guitars.
No.
You know what I mean? And you could have had a fucking Paul Reed Smith fucking hand carved model, for the price of that Gibson. And I'm fucking honestly, mate, I'm pissed off.
It is bad. It is bad. I mean, to be fair, they've supposedly turned a corner with Gibson because of the new CEO and the new processes he brought in, which he mentioned on a video, some of the processes that he has brought in. But the trouble is, when this sort of thing happens, it's a 2019 model. This is a new model. This is like this year. We're only in March.
But this is Gibson are meant to be, American craftsmanship. This is meant to be. This is this is your top end. It's one step before you actually got a proper luthier making something personal for you.
Yeah, like custom shop.
This is where you are. You know what I mean? It's meant to be high end. And I know as we were just talking to your brother, and he, I get what he's saying. That's the thing. I get what he's saying because if I'd have had that second hand,
yeah,
and someone had got me, and I knew what had happened, and I understood what had happened, I'd just buy the fucking 20 quid part, no problem. I'd probably buy something that looks aged. I'd buy something like he said. To be honest, I'd probably buy, just because it's a Gibson, I'd buy a Gibson part, an older Gibson part to put on it, because the older parts were better.
Yeah.
But even the parts look cheap.
That's the problem. It's what they're made out of. I mean, I'm not a big fan of using nickel, for certain parts. Anything that's going to take strain, it needs to be steel. And tin, copper, nickel, golds and brass and all these different things, they're all weak metals, right? They're not strong alloys. You need to have a steel that is going to be durable. And you've got to remember, on a toggle switch, you're going to hammer it because you use it as a kill switch. You use it as an effect.
If you can get like stainless,
yeah,
is probably the best, if I'm honest, because it doesn't rust.
Yeah.
And when you're playing metal, you sweat a lot.
Yeah.
And the amount of times you basically put a copper finish on a gold because my hand's been sweating. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm pissed off. Is to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling gutted. I mean, I was so excited for this guitar.
If they are going to offer you a full refund, mate, I mean, this is my personal opinion. You'll probably go tomorrow and get it fixed and all that shit and get the whatever back. And if they're being cool with it, I mean, to be fair, they want to be cool with it for the amount of money that you've spent on it.
Yeah.
They want to be licking your bum right now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, the retailers don't even make that much money, because this is a shocking thing. It's more like a prestige thing with them. When you're a retailer selling Gibson, it's like a big deal. It shows you in the big time because it's so expensive to sell Gibson. So few shops can actually do it. New Gibsons, anyway. It's so hard to get that deal that it's more like we need to have Gibson here, even if we're not selling lots of them. And the actual markup of what they take away from that sale is not that high. So, give me some money back. They're probably losing most of their profit out of it just because they want to keep the customer happy, which is a very good thing. And they want to keep Gibson happy and keep the sale. So I totally get it. But And then I also get what you're saying as well, because at the end of the day, it's a high-end guitar. Certainly to us, that's a high-end guitar. I know there's like rich people that pay ridiculous money for
If you walk into a showroom tomorrow and you buy a Mercedes,
yeah,
tomorrow, you pull away and you drive around the corner and the fucking wheel drops off.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll put another wheel on for you.
Yeah.
We'll give you £2,000 back."
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, "Oh, well, first and foremost, why the fuck did it fall off?
Yeah.
Secondly, what's happened? Is this faulty? Is this going to happen to the other wheels?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. And the fact that it's already chipped, it's brand new.
Yeah.
Why is it fucking chipped already? I know it can be covered up, but you've always got to know it's there."
Exactly. I mean, the thing for me is I'd always have the chip on because I like the poke chip on Les Pauls, and it can be sealed so the crack can't go any further. So that kind of for me is fine. But what it does mean is if I ever wanted to sell it, that could reduce the value.
100%. Yeah. That is, you always have to declare it because they will ask you to show it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know you wanted a Les Paul, but
yeah,
you could probably buy two for the price you paid for that. You could grab a fucking a standard and a studio from the 80s or the 90s, which would much better quality.
I think for second hand, I could try and get some, but trying to buy one new, and I wanted it to be new because I wanted to go on that journey with it myself.
That makes sense. That does make sense. But
I had my first Les Paul when I was a teenager. I just had the one, and sorry, I just sent you another picture. That was me, and I wanted to have another one now because I hadn't got it anymore, and I wanted to up the stakes and get one even better than the one I had, so that I can use that. And I mean, you know me, I'm not even a Les Paul guy, right? So much like yourself, I'm a metal guy, and everyone's got their taste. I do love single cutaways, but I love double cutaways. This is more what I would normally play. This is one of my favorite guitars. It's lighter. It's fast. It's got a faster neck than the Gibson. This is what I would normally go to. But I wanted to own a Gibson Les Paul as I collect guitars, and I wanted to be able to record on it and some of the stuff we're going to do. And I just feel a bit let down, as you say, that I've paid the money. I've worked hard to build. I mean, I'm still paying for it, right? I couldn't buy it outright. It's on finance, so I've got to still pay for it. And I was willing to do that to have what I wanted because it's a special thing. And I hit 40, so it's like it's a bit of a milestone. And it's I don't buy things like that very often. That's really a one-off. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame. So I do feel let down by it. But so here's the options. Let's talk about options, right? And I'm sorry, but I'm on a diet, but I'm going to be naughty because I need to cheer myself up. But it's like option number one, full refund. So that's on the table, right? And just not have it. Option number two, I can send it back and have a replacement. Exactly the same, but it's going to take me weeks to get it, and run the risk the same flaw will exist and happen. Option number three, I can take it back and switch it for another Les Paul of the same value, but it won't be that colour, right? Which is the colour I wanted. Option number four, last option, I can take the discount and fix it myself. Those are the four options I can see.
That's it. That's the kicker. I would, as I say, I've told you what I'd go for. Get the Beanos, get something else. That's what I think. I think once it's always going to be on your mind. It's not going to be right. It's not going to have its original hardware. It's not going to have its original hardware from day one. And that's bad. That is really bad. You should have been able to smash the shit out of that switch. That switch should have lasted years before you had to change that out.
Mm.
You know?
Agreed. I mean, the switch itself works as far as I can tell. It's just that metal gland that holds a poker chip on and holds the switch in place. So it's actually just a piece of metal that's snapped. But I think the switch is fine. But you're right about that. It's the original piece that's broke, right? So I can replace it. It's two ways of looking at that. I don't like that original piece because if it breaks that easy, and I've been told, by the way, it's the second one that's happened. So that's just from this retailer, which I'm not going to mention who they are.
What shocks me is they're not surprised by it.
Yeah.
That is a warning sign about quality altogether.
Yeah.
If you could find a PRS that was a similar style of colour, and I have seen them, there's midnight blue PRS, I would literally just get it back to them and say, look, sorry, it's soiled. It's soiled goods for me. You've shit the bed with me, mate. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie in it.
Yeah.
You're taking that back.
Yeah.
Fix it up and sell it as fucking grade B stock on your website, because to me it is grade B stock.
Yeah.
It's graded because it's cracked. You sold me something faulty. It is faulty.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think my view on that is I've got a blue PRS, so I don't know that I really want to get another one. I think I like PRS, but I wanted a Gibson. You know what I mean? I've got a PRS, and
the only other thing I can think of is if you set on a Gibson, get an older one.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at one in the store that I wanted to go and try, but it was $4,500, and I just can't do it. It's like more than twice as much, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
An LP standard.
Yeah, but it was a custom shop. It was a 1970 custom shop. It was only 300 made of that one. It's black, beautifully gold hardware, but I can't pay $4,500. You know, that's just outside of my.
Guitar. At the end of the day, it's what you feel. It's what you feel, mate. It's what you're willing to put up with. It's basically what it is at the end of the day. You know, we can all advise on what we do. I know exactly what I do, and that's why I'm telling you.
Well, I think
it might not be what you want to do.
I don't disagree with you, because PRS. And then again, I don't, you know, if people watching this and they totally disagree, that's fine. I've no problem with it. PRS, I think, is a superior design for a guitar. Okay, because the 14-degree angle on the headstock of a Les Paul is proven to be a bad design over years. All right, that's not me saying it. That's just history tells you that. And I watch a lot of rig rundowns. I love watching those videos, and you always see the same guys, all the guys we love who play Les Pauls, all of them, and they show these really wicked old Les Pauls, all different eras. Doesn't matter how old it is, and all of them the neck has snapped, and all of them have had to have the neck glued back on. And they sound wicked and they look wicked, but the amount of cost and maintenance to own that guitar and use that guitar is just, to me, silliness. I would not tour with a Les Paul. Unless I was a big rich superstar like those guys who can afford their techs to fix it for them. Unless you're like that, there's no way I would go on tour with a Les Paul, because if it breaks, it's a lot of money, and I just don't want to get into it. But to own one and play it at home and record with it, that's fine, because you're in a controlled condition. You're not likely to smash it. But as soon as you take it out on the road, that's not, you know, that's where these guys come in. That's where these beauties come in, and that's just what I think. So the reason I want to own a Les Paul is for a practical thing. It's not for an impractical one. I don't want to use it as my main guitar. I want to own it as something I collect, something I record with, something I love in my collection. But I think it would never be my main guitar. It's too heavy. It's too fragile. But it's something I want to own again. And I think this colour spoke to me, because everybody has a burst. It seems to me everyone's got tobacco burst, or tea burst, or lemon burst, or sunburst, or cherry burst. It's always a burst. And I just wanted to have something that was different. And that's why I went with that colour.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice piece. It does look great. It does. I mean, I like the lemon drop.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. Which is like Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac era. the lemon drop I do like, and I like Joe Perry from Aerosmith.
Beautiful.
He had some really fruity old ones like Tobacco Burst that you can't get some really old ones that don't make anymore and things like that.
You know the story behind his Les Paul?
Yeah.
You know about it?
I do, yeah. I do.
How cool is that?
It's very cool. Cool thing to do, actually. Quite a nice gesture.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's what pros do.
Yeah. I've always had, I must admit, I've always had Epiphones.
Great guitars.
I've never had a Gibson.
And the interesting thing, even though they're in the same group of companies, in fact, I don't know if people can see, but in the back here, I've got the box for that Les Paul, and on it, it does say, I can even lift it, it's such a big box. It does say, if you can see it, the Gibson family of brands. Right, so they acknowledge that there are several brands actually a part of that group of companies, and Epiphone being one of them, as we discussed on episode 1.
I've never had a neck break on an Epiphone, and I've played them for a lot of years. I've dropped them as well on their headstock. The worst one I dropped was an SG. Playing live, the strap lock just shot out the guitar and went neck heavy, bang on the floor, the neck.
Yeah.
And I had a glued neck as well.
That's the trouble with SGs. I love them, but they're so head heavy. It's just
I had an SG, an SG 400. That was quite an odd colour. It wasn't the cherry red.
That's like the one I had. The Epiphone cherry red SG.
It was a different kind of red. It was lighter, and it had a Bixby.
Oh, nice.
It had a Bixby.
That would weigh it back down the other way a bit, wouldn't it?
And I've never seen another SG with a Bixby on like my one.
That's it.
But I dropped it that way, and I snapped a tuning peg off, and I had to have some new drill. I had to have it filled in and drill new pegging.
Yeah.
But it only broke the peg, which I was very lucky because it was a glued neck as well, not a bolt on.
Yeah.
So I thought, God, well, I've got an Epi Custom shop now.
Yeah.
It's the Zach Wild.
Beautiful guitar.
And it was made in 2004, I think, and it's still going well. And I've gigged live with that tons of times, and it's a beast. That is.
Yeah.
It's really heavy as well.
I really like that guitar. I'm looking forward to us really rocking with that and getting some tones. I mean, that is a beautiful guitar. And the thing is, it's rare. That's what I like, is guitars that you don't see every day. You know, it stands out.
They get wrecked, don't they? People have fads on them, and then they get wrecked, and no one has them anymore.
Yeah.
And I've got the 7-string one, which is just like brand new.
Yeah.
7-string Les Paul Custom. 2000. Year 2000, that was. Probably.
Yeah. So it's going to be a big day tomorrow, talking about what I'm going to do, trying to make this decision. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about it. I've got to try and decide what makes the most sense with this.
Yeah.
It's a really hard one because I definitely want to have a Les Paul. So that bit I know. The question is, do I want to take the risk of sending this back and waiting for a new one and it comes and has the same problem? In my mind now, I'm thinking that part is fragile. So let's imagine it comes and it's absolutely fine. In my head, when I'm using the switch, I'm thinking, is that going to pop sometime, right? Should I change that part anyway now, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing. The other thing is, do I want the hassle? Do I want the hassle of waiting weeks and weeks for, the new one to come and then still potentially go for this again? Do I want that aggravation? I've got a lot on my plate, so do I need that? If I go into the store and I swap it out for a new guitar, it's going to be a different color, so that's going to take me a day to go into Birmingham and to play it and to play all those instruments.
You're not going to get the color that you want.
Not going to get the color that I want. So
right away, it's not going to be the color you want.
Yeah.
We know, because you've had to wait that long for this one.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd have to see if something grabbed me, which is possible, but not. I don't know whether that will happen. It could just be a day wasted. Because it won't cost me anything to send this back. But if I'm going to go over there, take it back and try other things, that's costing me a day and it's costing travel. So then the other thing is, if I take the money and fix it myself, okay, I can get that working fine. I can replace that part. But like you say, I don't know. That might be, in some ways, that's the best solution, and in some ways, it isn't the best solution, right? So I'm never probably going to sell this guitar, so I don't have to worry too much about the resale value for that little bit. Secondly, they're giving me money off, so that kind of probably makes up the difference. And that way, I get the colour I want, and I probably get better parts in it anyway, because I'd switch out the broken part and put a better part in. So there is that solution. That is a good option.
Yeah.
But I do think what we've learned from this, certainly what I think, is that Gibson hasn't turned that corner yet. You know, not what they're releasing as of today. We're in March 2019, and they're still putting guitars out that have problems upon delivery. I'm not saying all of them do, but I can just say mine did. I can say that other YouTubers have said a lot the same, other people online, and even this store, who I won't mention the name, did say this isn't the first time. So as of this time, Gibson still has production issues, QC issues on their Les Pauls. That's what I've learned from this.
Yes.
I can't say they won't fix them later in the year. That they're talking about it, but as of now, as of today, you're paying a lot of money, and the parts aren't really.
No.
You need to upgrade it. Is what I'm seeing. You buy an expensive guitar, and then you put better parts in. You pay more because you have to do what they should have done. Right.
What the fuck, man?
It's not right, is it?
You know, mate, it's wrong on so many levels. I'm fucking fuming, and it ain't even my guitar.
Yeah, it is.
I am livid. I am fucked off.
It's bad.
On another hand, every Epiphone I've ever bought has never had an issue.
And that I can collaborate that, yeah, because I've had a Les Paul Epiphone. I didn't particularly like it, but it didn't have any problems. I had an SG Epiphone, which I did like. That was fun. That didn't have any problems. What else have I had? Have I had any other Epiphones? I think that might be it. But my mates have always had Epiphones. They haven't really had problems. So to be fair, I would say I've never heard different to what you've said. Never heard different. And here's another interesting thing. I know lots of people with Epiphones and less people with Gibsons. You know, and it isn't just the price. I think it is what you say. People are scared of buying a Gibson. It's a worry because you put a lot into it, and you don't know what you're going to get.
Quality control. The quality control with Epiphone is good because it's probably going to be coming from China. And if you think about it, they probably
make most guitars.
They're very stringent, very strict. Probably supervisors, and if you put bad things through, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, what I don't like is the Gibsons, which is a Chinese knockoff Gibsons. I don't like those because they're pretty bad. I've seen some. Well, actually, some of them are pretty bad, and some of them are better than others, but they're very hit and miss. But with the Epiphones, though, which are pucker, they're proper, their own thing.
The Korean ones, the from the Unsung plant. Anything from the Unsung plant. That Zach Wild custom is from the Unsung. It's made in Korea.
Yeah.
And my Tremonti SE was made in Korea as well, and you can tell.
Yeah. My SE is made in Korea. Yeah.
They are very good. They are very good. And you know, I always thought USA. When I think USA, you know, for guitars, whenever anyone puts USA in front, you know, Gibson USA, you think you're drawn in. You think top bucks for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
And I personally think, again, I can only equate it to buying a brand new Jag from the factory.
Yeah.
The customer support that you should receive, the fucking, you know, opening that box for the first time and it's there and it's yours. Not so much about the thing. It stops becoming about the thing itself and it actually becomes about the feelings towards it.
Oh, yeah.
the dissatisfaction. It's almost like getting a bad meal. Joe, when you've gone to a restaurant, you've had a bad meal, you don't want to go to that restaurant again, do you?
No, that's right.
You know, you complain, they might try and comp you, and they might try and make, you know, reaffirm the brand.
Yeah.
But you in your mind, you'll always remember that shit meal that you had.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It is true. I bet you can remember one from 20 years ago.
Well, my memory's probably not that good, but yeah, I bet there is. I think people always remember the bad things more than the good things. So it's like, you know, it only takes the one bad thing and you'll remember it, where all the good times you kind of forget. And I think that's sadly true. But I also think that in the case of Gibson, I don't want to bash them too much because I love them, right? And I want them to succeed. I want it to be good. Everybody does. But
don't get me wrong, it's not a turning into a Gibson, I hate Gibson ragging session.
Yeah.
It's just I want, you know, I want them to observe this, and I want them to know.
Yeah.
They've announced financial trouble recently.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, this is it, and I mean, I think my view on it is, and this sounds brutal as well. And again, I agree with you. It is not a rant against Gibson, but my view on this is that with Gibson, you get a product that's of massive heritage, but it's not bigger than certain other brands, in my opinion. I mean, people argue that. All right, we're in 2019. There's a lot of people alive who love guitars and play guitars who weren't alive and don't know anything about the old stuff. So to them, anything old is good, right? In terms of the vintage and history. So to me, Gresh, Fender, you know, is up there with Gibson. I think Ibanez is kind of getting in there. We talked about PRS, so like the modern sort of thing that's really grabbing people. So to me, yeah, Gibson have got a heritage, but there's a lot of guitar companies who are kind of getting that as well now. And I think when you're paying a premium for the headstock, and actually the quality for money versus other companies, it isn't good. I mean, you look at these other companies. I love Schecter, I love ESP, I love Ibanez, I love Fender.
Schecter.
Yeah, I do like it. Cool. Well, I think it's probably got to that time, so I have to call it a night. But thank you for consoling me with my guitar woes. Because
no problem, sir.
Harsh day.
it'll be okay. You'll get something that you want. Don't worry.
Get there with it. All right then, sir. I will catch you soon.
Awesome.
Have a good one.